something about it just doesn't feel real. It just didn't. It didn't. And I'm going to say allegedly, but that just didn't feel real to me. It felt like a stunt. Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host, Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about Married at First Sight. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this video. I want to say thank you to Married at First Sight for giving us majority of the weddings. It wouldn't be y'all if y'all gave it to us all. I knew it was too good to be true. If y'all gave us all of the rest of the weddings, obviously the episodes are still long and drawn out, and they giving all these unnecessary details in order to pad the episodes to make them 2 hours. That's still annoying, but I can't even lie, I was entertained. I wasn't feeling like, oh, here we go, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? The couples that we did see get married seemed like they possibly were attracted to each other. Like there was like, we saw a little bit of chemistry there, you know what I'm saying? Because I was nervous. I'm very just skeptical, like they just have a bad track record at this point. Now I'm not saying these people are gonna make it, but I am saying that the weddings themselves were not train wrecks the way that I thought they were, except for one, obviously, the obvious one. You know, we know, we're gonna talk about it, but you know what I mean. Like majority of them, they're just like, oh, it might be a little something. Let me not have too much hope, but you know, it might, you never know. It felt a bit more authentic, except for like the mystery ride of it all. But let me not get ahead of myself. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with Emily and Brennan because they got married last week, and we're picking up with them having their first one-on-one meeting together. Let me just reiterate, Emily looked very pretty, and I loved that fur jacket she put on when they went outside. First of all, why are they going outside in the snow? I know it's cold. I know it's Colorado. I know, you know, that's probably normal for them, but on your wedding day, it's like, I know it's freezing. They both had on like very thick coats. I'm like, do we have to have this conversation outside? I couldn't do it. Y'all have to find me a room in the back or something like that. I'm not sitting outside and I'm just meeting. I'm already nervous. They were giving each other the eye. I was like, oh, y'all attracted to each other for real. It looked like they were gonna jump their bones tonight. It looked like they're gonna be all over each other once they get to that honeymoon room. I'm sorry. They were feeling each other. You could see it. I still don't think Emily was ready to get married. She's asking him, does his family like to party? He answered by saying, well, we're Russian. My dad drinks vodka more than he drinks water. And I'm like, dang. Maybe they are a match made in heaven. I don't know. But he just seems more like he's on the reserved side of things. Maybe he partied in college and now he's ready to settle down, have a family. He seems like he's on the downswing of partying, whereas she seems like she's still party mode. But only time will tell. We thought the same thing about Woody, and look at Woody. He's now a whole family man, had a baby with Imani and has another one on the way right now. And it's working out great. So I could be wrong, but I don't know. Next, I'm going to move on to Becca and Austin. So Becca, she chose a Renaissance style dress for her wedding dress. It looks so cute on her. I love that she kind of went outside of the box of what people normally choose. And she chose something that really fit her body type. Like, it just, I don't know. And it fit her personality as well. I feel like her pink hair kind of showed her individuality a little bit and showed her little quirkiness. And the dress, it just all went together so cute. And I also love the fact that she is a wedding photographer. So she knows it's going to look good on camera. She's, you know, created everybody else's like dream wedding as far as photos, but now she finally gets to live her own on her wedding day. And I just, you know, that is a beautiful thing. Right before the wedding, her friend did ask, you know, when are you going to bring up your chronic illness? And I forgot the name, but it's an illness where she is in pain some days, where she has to go to the hospital sometimes. Right now, she's dealing with endometriosis, and she literally just had a surgery. She was talking about being scared of dancing too hard because she might bust a stitch or something like that. And she said that she wants to tell him, give him space to digest and process it without him feeling like he got the short end of the stick or like he's pressured or anything like that. Look, once again, I already said on the last episode, it's not that I don't feel like she doesn't deserve love. That's just a lot of stress to put on a brand new marriage, let alone relationship. Y'all are just meeting each other. A lot of times when people are saying these vows, in sickness and in health, they already love each other. They already have that bond established. And so when those times do come, they have that foundation to lean on in order for the caregiver to be able to take on that role. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes with a lot. I've been a caregiver. That's not an easy role to take on. Like it or not, fair or not, I feel like that's too big of a responsibility to put on someone that is not necessarily knowing what they're signing up for. And I hate to say that because I feel like it sounds so bad. It sounds so harsh. Now, once he finds out, he might, be able to deal with it. Maybe it doesn't come with as much responsibility as I think it is. Maybe it's something that, she just kind of needs like a hand to hold, or maybe on certain days, like just bring me some food and, I just chill in the bed that day. I don't know. Like maybe it's not as severe as I'm thinking that it is, but I just have to think about the other person that will have to be there. And then on top of that, you don't want to sign her up for someone who might be apathetic to her pain. You know what I'm saying? Because if you sign her up with someone who's crazy like Chris, or, one of these people that haven't been the best husband, it could make her condition worse by stressing her out. So I don't know, y'all. I still feel the same way I felt, but we'll see how he reacts to it once she does tell that to him, and then we'll see how it is in practice, because he might think, yeah, I'll be there and I'll take care of you and everything, but how are you going to feel when you're actually in the situation, where she might be in the hospital and you might have to make a decision? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a lot to put on someone you don't even know like that. Like if something happens to you and you're in the hospital, your husband has to make that decision, whereas before it might have been your mom or your dad. Now you're putting it in the hands of somebody you don't know for real, who don't know you for real. I don't know, y'all. That's a lot. That's a lot down. I'm sorry. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that down in the comments. Because he seems cool, but he also gives frat boy vibes. Like, I don't even know that he's truly ready. His female roommate friend, she already said that he needs help or he needs a push to make certain decisions. And you know what I'm saying? They could play a pivotal role in their relationship. But anyway, before the wedding, they send each other gifts. She sent him, I think like a Polaroid camera, and he sent her a thoughtful aroma gift about memories being associated with smell. And I thought that was a very thoughtful, nice gift for him to send. And then on top of that, he sent her her favorite perfume that she wears every day. So, that kind of was a good sign to her, like, oh my goodness, how does he even know what I like? So that was cute. One thing I did like about him is that he's very playful. Like, him and his friends are playful. So he had one of his friends put on like a floral tie and gave him 2 bags, one with rose petals in it and one with mini bottles of liquor. And so he was like throwing the flower petals down the aisle and then handing out the liquor like it's candy. Both of them just have like that fun nature to them. Like, cause even when she was walking down the aisle and she saw her friends and family, like she just lit up. She was so bubbly, like, oh, I want to hug everybody. And I thought somebody was walking her down the aisle, but apparently not. She like literally ran down the aisle to him, gave him the biggest hug, like, hey everybody. Like, it was like she had one of the best entrances to me. They had one of the best meetings to me, because she might as well ran down there and jumped in his arms, and he was just so overwhelmed by it all. Like, he started crying. And you know, they embraced, and it felt so natural. It just felt like they already knew each other. They just felt comfortable. I think the fact that she's so outgoing, it helped the situation, because he did seem a little nervous, but she kind of like, you know, put him at ease. When she did see that he was crying, she asked her mom for a tissue, and she almost tried to dab it herself. He was like, no, I got it. They both seemed like they were into each other physically. I love that, you know, they both found out immediately that they're both always late, so they have that in common. And on top of that, you know, they both play the same video games, and they're both silly. They have all of that stuff in common. I'm assuming that he's not Jewish, because when she wanted to put in their ceremony that they do the whole bottle breaking thing, and that's like tradition in the Jewish community, and I'm assuming his side of the family, or he's not Jewish, because she had to tell them what to say afterwards. So you know, that could be an issue as well. Like, I don't, because if he's a Christian and she's Jewish, like, if they have kids, how they gonna raise them? You know what I'm saying? Like, child, but we just gonna zoom past that one. And then at the end of their ceremony, she grabbed his head and laid it on him, baby. Like, he didn't know what hit him. I was like, because at one point in her, when her family was like giving her a little introduction or whatever, they was trying to say she was like this, like, I don't know, almost like try to refer to her like she's like this nerdy freak. Anyway, so when they had their little meeting alone, once again, they're outside in the snow, and I'm just like, I know it's freezing. He was about to pop the champagne or whatever, so she let him know, you know, she doesn't drink, but they shook up the champagne and sprayed it everywhere. Next thing you know, they all over each other kissing. I'm like, oh, y'all like each other for real. But yeah, she loved the fact that he was emotional and he had cried or whatever. She wanted a man like that. And, you know, he brought up the fact that he had a female roommate. She didn't have a problem with it. Y'all, I actually have the most hope for them out of everyone. Like, the way that they met and connected, like, even though I'm like, okay, I don't know about how this whole chronic illness or how the religion is going to play into this, but I want it to work for them. I told y'all last week I wasn't going to be a hopeless romantic, but look at me. I want it to work. They look like they gonna get along great, and then even their families look like they're gonna get along. So let's move on to Claire and Cameron. When Claire went dress shopping, she broke down about how no man has ever truly committed to her, and I think in the back of her mind she's kind of scared of this marriage not working out or ending up similarly, because she was really upset, and like, I don't know, like, she broke down wedding dress shopping. And it's kind of sad because, you know, it does feel like a lot of men these days aren't trying to commit. And, you know, social media, it feels like the grass is always greener somewhere else. But it's possible. But yeah, let's move on to the day of the wedding. I get the man family is in New Zealand. That's where he's from. He has a mother and a father and a brother that live over there. But he's been over here for 10 years. Where are his friends? Like, I get you have family friends, you know, people stepping in for your parents. And I saw that he had like some groomsmen or whatever and a cousin. But where are your friends at? Like, shouldn't you have developed friendships by now? He does give a little awkward. He does, even though he's like a daredevil type of guy, he does kind of give awkward. Is it just me? Does he just look young? He kind of looks immature, but he just seems a little bit immature. It kind of feels like you just chase that adrenaline and that adventure. So is it like, are you doing this just for another adrenaline rush? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just can't get a good read on him either. He's kind of like aloof a little bit. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about him. She ended up breaking down again because her brother wasn't going to be there. He tragically took his own life. And so, you know, that's just really sad because, you know, if you have a big moment like this, and you have all your family there and you're going to notice that he's not there. I know the whole family is going through it. At least she does have the rest of her family there to support her. Her hair and her makeup was flawless. I love that she pulled her sister and her mom to the side and told them to stop being so judgmental. And, you know, they were just saying how they want somebody that's ambitious, that's a go-getter, someone that is already going out there and getting it. They don't have to push him. And they really want somebody that's funny. I just think that she needs fun in her life, because it seems like she's very like, she's in her head. Like she, you know, it's hard for her to have fun. And so maybe he will be good for her in that way. I don't know how funny he's going to be though, because we haven't seen him have much personality. She ended up sending him a thoughtful gift about their family and how they're Scottish, and all of them were wearing like this plaid color. I think her dad was wearing like a plaid tie, and they were wearing like plaid shawls, and it stands for their family crest. And he sent her a stuffed animal that was like unrecognizable to anybody in the room. Nobody understood what it was. And then he sent a letter and said that's just his friend named Kiwi, and that didn't really clarify it, which I know that in New Zealand, or if you're from New Zealand, that they call themselves Kiwis. I don't know if that's the national animal of New Zealand or not. Regardless, he could have explained that a little better, because that is a weird looking creature as a stuffed animal. But they were trying not to judge, child. Both of her parents walked her down the aisle. She was very nervous, and we didn't actually see their ceremony just yet, but hopefully it turned out well. Hopefully, you know, it's not too awkward. He seems like he's so nervous, child. So let's move on to Lauren and Orion. This was the couple I was the most nervous about, because you just, you know, when you have a mixed race couple, you just never know what you're going to get. But I was pleasantly surprised. But before we get there, according to him, he's been looking for someone since the age of 13, because his grandparents have been married for years and years and years. He said he's not worried about looks at all. He's thinking about personal traits and values. And funny enough, she said the same thing, that physical attraction isn't the number one thing with her, because she feels like that can grow. Like, as long as he ain't no 2, we can't turn a 2 into a 5, but as long as I'm somewhat attracted, you know, we can work on that. And as far as gifts, she sent him a leather flask with some sort of liquor, and he gifted her a turquoise necklace as a representation of his culture or tribe or something like that. And you know, that made her feel spiritually connected to him already. He's just very intentional when it comes to his culture. His hair being wrapped in a bun is symbolic of being solid and of sound mind. And you know, I thought it was cute. I thought his bun was cute. I thought the fact that she wore her natural hair and she did it herself, I thought that it's funny. I really do think both were kind of representing themselves culturally. For her to wear her natural curls and, you know, wear that down the aisle, and, you know, what he wore his bun, that was nice. And even when you see them interacting with their families, you could see a certain closeness. She had her father there to walk her down the aisle. She had her sister there giving her their grandmother's bracelet as something old or borrowed, and gave her a picture of her mother like on a keychain so that she could have her in her bouquet. Y'all, I shed a tear, I ain't gonna lie. That was so sweet, because I can't imagine, you know what I'm saying, like not having that one person there. And I love the rest of her family are just, you know, surrounding her in love. And him too, like him and his mother had this beautiful heartfelt conversation before walking down the aisle. And it made me wonder where his father is, because at one point he did mention that, you know, he had a strong matriarchal family. So I wonder, did his dad pass away? Was his father not in his life? So we get to the part where she's about to walk down the aisle, y'all. I'm holding my breath. But when he saw her, like, I mean, he was grinning from ear to ear. He was blushing, like, yes, like I mean, I couldn't really read her because she looked so nervous, but I feel like, you know, she was like, okay, this is different, but okay. I love that someone from her side of the family, from the crowd, was like, don't they look good together, y'all? When they read her little bio or whatever, he was like, yup, the experts hit it on the head, yup. They were just really vibing with each other at the altar. Like, it was a little awkward, but I feel like almost like in a kiddish, like childish, flirtatious kind of way. When it was time to kiss her, he asked her, would you like a kiss? And yeah, the kiss was a little awkward. He was leaning a little hard. Okay, but he was ready to kiss his wife. And then when they had that little meeting alone, notice how they met on the inside. I can guarantee you Lauren was like, I am not going out there in the snow. It's too cold, okay? But they had their little meeting. He said that, you know, she is putting him at ease, and, you know, they talked about their age difference. He's 27, she's 31, and she's never dated anyone younger than her. But he's tall and cute, and, you know, she's also never been married before, so she's willing to, you know, she's willing to go for it. And they find out they both have the same zodiac sign. I'm not into all that, but that meant a lot to her. And she also loved the fact that he's very handy, because, you know, she want a little help around the house, and she's good with hair, so she's gonna help him out with that. And, you know, I just love that, you know, he asked, did she have any reservations? And at first she was like, well, she was thinking, well, maybe he's not going to be attracted to me. She was a little concerned about that. And then she looked in the mirror. She was like, but I look good. I'm like, I know that's right. Because he was very attracted. He was like, you're everything I envision in a wife. And I'm like, you better say that. It was giving Black Cinderella. It was giving Black Cinderella. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was so cute. Y'all, once again, am I going overboard? I told y'all I wasn't going to do this, but I just thought they looked so good together. They seem like they made a good connection. I feel like both of them are just very open. I think they're the perfect candidates for a show like this, because I feel like genuinely they would have been open to any race, any size, any, you know, as within reason, you know what I'm saying? But both of them are attractive. So as long as the person is, you know, generally attractive, it didn't matter what form, what race they came in, I'm going to be open to it. And I was just so, it gave me the feels, y'all. I was there for it. Let's move on to Michael and the mystery bride. It's funny because at the beginning, he was saying that his mother, you know, she wasn't really for it. I don't even think she came to the wedding. Sometimes our parents be knowing, y'all. Sometimes our parents be knowing. Sometimes I want to go back on certain episodes after I know the outcome of, you know, what's going to happen on Married at First Sight, and look to see whose parents said what, because parents be knowing. Going on Married at First Sight just isn't the best idea anyway. Let's just be real. He said that he knows that his style is an acquired taste, and he feels like that plays a role into why he's single. He has the neck tats, and, you know, his hair is different. He likes to wear clothing that makes it look like he's wearing a skirt. And then on top of that, he tends to be drawn to classic women. See, that's your problem. You need to be attracted to women that like to dress like you. But like his friend said, you just want to be the center of attention. Because why would a classically dressed woman want to be with a man that dresses like out the box? It doesn't match her aesthetic. This wasn't shown on the episode, but they said on the after show that he got her these, you know, kind of off the wall ruby looking earrings, but it had like little drips coming off of it. And then he got her like a classic diamond tennis bracelet. Girl. And she gifted him a crown and a sword, and I thought that was actually a really nice gift. Like, you would think someone that would gift something like that would go on and walk down the aisle, child. So his family was hyping him up whenever he walked in. They was about to start the ceremony. His family stood up, clapped, hyping him up like, yeah, we ready to do this or whatever. And they even were joking in the crowd about one of the people on her side were looking at him like, no, this is the one, texting her like, you need to turn around. They were it's crazy how they even made that joke. She ends up walking down the aisle and telling him, I'm sorry, I don't think I can do this. I just can't marry a stranger. And it's like, girl, why are we here? Even with her doing that, he was very gracious about it. Like, look, if this is something you can't do, you know, I totally understand. You gotta do what's right for you, whatever. He was very understanding of her in that moment. And then she walked out. Now, y'all, I don't want to accuse nobody of nothing, but this felt like a stunt to me. Nothing about this felt real. Okay, maybe on his end. I don't think that he's in on it. I don't think his friends and family are in on it. But this just didn't feel real to me. Why did they blur the woman out? Why did they blur out her face? Even when she was saying, look, I just can't do this. It felt like a voiceover. It didn't feel like a person that actually said that in the moment. They never showed her side of the family. Something about it just doesn't feel real. It just didn't. It didn't. And I'm going to say allegedly, but that just didn't feel real to me. It felt like a stunt. And you know, Married at First Sight has been pulling stunts for a while now. Okay. Mismatching people and whatnot. And this is the first season out of 17 that this has happened. I don't know. A part of me don't believe it, y'all. I feel like they playing in our face. Because if she was a real person, why did y'all blur her out? Yes, she probably would have received a lot of hate, but that's the risk you take on a show like this. Anybody is at risk of becoming the villain of the show. You know, especially if you do something like that. And I also heard on the after party that she knew that she didn't want to get married to him before she even walked down the aisle. So that's on her. If she walked down the aisle anyway and still turned him down in his face and humiliated him, you get what you get in return. But for them to blur all of that out, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It doesn't feel legit. Okay, but y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Let's just go with the assumption that it is real. At the very least, I don't think they should have aired this. I don't think they should have aired this ceremony and her turning him down and being humiliated in front of the world. Like, I think they were dead wrong for airing that. Why are you protecting her? Like, we don't see her face, but we see his as the face of, like, jilted husband at the altar. Like, how embarrassing. I feel like they're constantly just ruining the integrity of the show by doing things like this for views and posting it. Like, could y'all have not just postponed his wedding possibly and found him somebody else? Or they could have just alluded to it happening. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to show the actual footage of the woman turning him down. And once again, under the assumption that this is real, if she knew that she didn't want to be with this man before walking down the aisle, she dead wrong for dumping him to his face and making it feel like, oh, I saw him, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's dead wrong. But I'm glad that she did not string this situation along, because y'all remember Little Miss, I'm a good person, who just wanted to get the clout from the situation but didn't actually like the guy and tried to put it on him and make him seem like something was wrong with him when you just weren't attracted to him in the first place. I would have rather her walked away at the altar than just drag somebody along and treat them bad, right? She did end up giving back the gift, because that was a substantial gift he gave her, a diamond bracelet. So she did give the gift back and wrote him a letter apologizing. I mean, I get wasting everybody's time though. Like, everybody took out their time to come to this wedding and support y'all. But he even understood that this was one of the risks you take by marrying a stranger. This is one of the things that could happen. And he may be hurt now, but like I said, it's the best for both of them in the long run. And I just hate the fact that he was internalizing it as a failure on his end. Like, he feels like his appearance or his presence should have been able to move her and change her mind. And, you know, he was in tears and his family was just so upset for him, consoling him. He said at the end of it that he might just have to accept that marriage might not be in the cards for him. And look, that's an idea that I played around with too. Like, when I was like in my mid-20s, I was saying like, look, I don't know that I'm gonna get married and I'm okay with it if I don't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's just not in the cards for me. I know people that have went their whole life without getting married or, you know, a substantial relationship, and they were fine. And I just think you're really young to say that. Y'all, I've been watching The Golden Bachelor. It's never too late. It's never too late. Those people are in their 60s and 70s. It's never too late. You know what I'm saying? So don't say that. And it's really cliche, but you tend to find love when you least expect it. So you never know when it'll come up on you. You know what I'm saying? Keep your heart open. Maybe put your focus elsewhere and until you are ready to find the one. I think I did hear that they were going to give him a replacement. I don't know. I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it after everything that he went through with that part. Like, that was just tough to deal with. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I'd love to hear your opinion. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.